Have you ever asked yourself why some stories stick with us, while others are quickly forgotten and left behind as soon as they're finished? The answer to that lies in the narrative structures used by the writers. I am referring, of course, to Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, and the lesser known, but equally as important, Heroine's Journey, written by Maureen Murdoch. The Hero's Journey, or the Monomyth, is a well-known narrative framework that can be recognized in stories and myths from thousands of years ago. However, it was only in 1990, with the release of The Hero with a Thousand Faces, that this universal structure was officially recognized and mapped. These 12 steps describe the story of a person who lives in an ordinary world, who then embarks on a life-changing adventure, faces challenges, and then finally returns home as a changed person. I'm sure we have all watched a film like this at least once. The easiest genre to recognize the structure in is often fantasy in action, because they follow it in the most literal way. They often revolve around themes of self-discovery, destiny, and defeating an enemy larger than life. The protagonists often start as simple people who feel unfulfilled with their life. They are then pulled into a world-shattering adventure that will finally make them feel alive and like life is finally worth living. However, there seems to be an unsung 13th step in Joseph Campbell's map to glory and riches, and it's very easily identifiable by looking at some of the protagonists that follow this structure. We have P.T. Barnum from The Greatest Showman, Paul Atreides from Dune, Officer K from Blade Runner, Chris Washington from Get Out, Indiana Jones from Indiana Jones, and Jon Snow from A Song of Ice and Fire. These are all perfect examples of the stereotypical hero described by Mr. Campbell in his book. Now, what do most of these great heroes have in common, aside from emotional baggage and daddy issues? They were all men. Joseph believed that women could not be the center of a mythology like the others I mentioned before, because in mythology, they were often the goal of the quest. They were someone that needed to be either saved, avenged, or conquered, romantically speaking. Women don't need to make the journey. They are the place that everyone is trying to get to, Joseph reportedly said to Maureen Murdoch. This, of course, upset Maureen, who then sought to prove him wrong. Not all journeys are about walking great distances, slaying dragons, and marrying a princess who may turn out to be your long-lost sister. The heroine's journey focuses on self-discovery, healing, and reconciliation with one's identity. A fine example of this is Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Her journey isn't about fighting an evil flaming eye on the top of a mountain, or an evil space empire led by a cyborg samurai wizard cloaked in dark armor. No. Her journey is about finding her way home and the realization that she had that power from the beginning. If we want to look at it through the lens of a different genre, we don't have to think too hard about it. We have Jo March from the historical drama and coming-of-age film Little Women. Her journey isn't about being the prophesized Lisan al-Gaib, starting a spiced-out intergalactic cult that ends in the death of thousands of people and planets. Jo's struggle is about being a woman in a society that does not want to listen to her voice and actively tries to drown it out. Her victory does not come from punching Nazis, but from reclaiming her identity and achieving her goals. Some movies manage to blend both structures together. A good example of this is Mad Max: Fury Road. In Fury Road, Furiosa's quest is to rescue Immortan Joe's wives. But by the end of it, it stops being about that and becomes a journey of liberation and redemption for her. There are external forces working against her, dangerous ones that will end her, given the chance, but overcoming them doesn't mark the success of her journey. Reclaiming her identity and purpose does. In the end, the key difference between these two journeys is that Campbell's often emphasizes external quests and the exploration of the world, while Murdoch's is all about reclaiming inner strength and reconciling the masculine and feminine aspects of oneself.